Hello everybody, you're welcome to your favorite show, Ness Ika Show, and I am your favorite host, Ness Ika. On today's edition, we will be looking at healthy sleep habits. You know, in the past few weeks, many people have been writing to me, I have trouble with my sleep. When I wake up, I feel tired, I have a headache, and so on and so forth. Then I thought it wise that I should bring you a video on healthy sleep habits. You and I are going to adopt a few tips that will help us to have better sleep patterns. You know, as our natural body has a natural sleep clock or a natural sleep pattern that has been set from the very day we were born. But due to our busy schedules, one or two things, we have altered this sleep pattern. Now, what is the way forward for us to restore this sleep pattern so that we can get good sleep? You know, if you get good sleep, you'll be healthy, and a healthy man is a wealthy man, of course. Now, let us look at these few tips that you and I will be adopting from this day forward so that we can get good sleep pattern. Rule number 1, we would stick to a consistent sleep pattern. You know, it's advisable that as adults, we should get at least 8 hours of rest a day. Imagine that every day you go to bed at 10 p.m., you wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. You are supposed to do that on a daily basis. You have to make it a routine so that your system gets used to it. Now, in the beginning, it may seem a little difficult, a little complicated, but you can just do that by setting yourself an alarm clock. You have to discipline your mind. When you discipline your mind, 10 p.m. you go to bed, 5 a.m. your alarm clock wakes you. Before you realize it, in the second week or a few days after that, you realize that once it's that time, you feel like sleeping. You easily fall asleep. That way you get a better sleep pattern. Our next rule that you and I will be adopting, we are going to use the bed only for sleep. That is, use the bed only for sleep. Now, when you go to bed, you have to avoid all distractions. Many of us, we have it as habit when we go to bed, we want to manipulate our phones, we want to watch TV for those who have TVs in their bedrooms, we want to maybe eat even in bed. No. That is not a good attitude. If you want to enhance a good sleep pattern, then you must use the bed only for sleep. That is, when you go to bed, you sleep and you wake up. Strictly for sleep. Now, the next rule is for you to cut down caffeine. You know, caffeine is not very healthy for you. For some people, a cup of coffee means no sleep at night. For others, you realize when they take coffee, they'll be like, okay, Ness Ika, I take coffee, I realize that I sleep for a few hours, and later on, maybe by 2 a.m., I'm awake again and no more sleep. Yes, caffeine does that to some people. You know, when you take caffeine, it's going to alter your sleep pattern. So you want to use the natural method. Remember that the natural method is the safer method. Now, our next step is we have to be physically active. You know, exercise has this thing, it has this vibe. When you do exercise, you realize that a lot of things, your system gets better. There are a lot of things that happen to you, but I'm just going to focus on sleep because today we are looking at healthy sleep patterns or healthy sleeping tips. Therefore, we have to indulge in exercises. When I mean physical exercise, I'm not talking about maybe you running a mountain race or something. No. I'm talking about simple exercises like walking, like jogging, like running, or even swimming. For those of you who can swim, you just need maximum 30 minutes a day. You do a small walk and you realize that that is going to enhance a better sleep pattern for you. And when you do that, it circulates blood everywhere around your system. You feel better and you're going to get a good sleep pattern, you know. And then we want to limit our daytime naps. Very important. If you must get a good sleep at night, then you must limit your daytime naps. The longer your daytime naps, the worse your sleep pattern is. Therefore, if you know, some of us are parents, we tell our children, when you come back from school, you have to sleep for at least 1 hour or 2 hours. It's good, but if we limit the daytime naps, if we reduce the duration of the naps, then we'll get better sleep at night. If you want to get a good sleep, you can just have a nap for 30 minutes, 20 minutes. That's good enough so that your brain is refreshed and is relaxed. And then at night, you can follow your sleep pattern easily. Also, you want to reduce your tobacco use. or you want to quit tobacco. You know, nicotine has a negative effect on the nervous system. Nicotine is going to reduce the way your system acts such that you find it very, very difficult for you to get a good sleep. So you want to cut down on nicotine, or you want to quit nicotine smoking. And then you also want to take alcohol cautiously. You have to take alcohol cautiously. You know, alcohol is not just only going to alter your sleep pattern, but alcohol is also going to have an effect on you. Because when you take alcohol, you realize that at night, you have to get up at frequent intervals to go and use the restroom. And all of those periods interrupt your sleep pattern. At the end of the day, you realize that you've not actually had a good night rest that you were supposed to have. Instead of taking alcohol, why not take water? Water is better. It's going to hydrate you. It's going to purify your system and do a lot of good to you. Water is good, but when you have to sleep, you don't have to take excessive water too. So you just have to take it moderately. Don't take excessive water so that your kidneys can also rest and you will not have to wake up at frequent intervals to go and use the restroom. Then you have to improve your sleep surroundings. You know, your environment has a lot of role to play on the quality of sleep that you receive. You know, if you want to sleep and everywhere is noisy, you agree with me that when you wake up in the morning, you have a terrible headache. You don't feel like you've actually rested because your environment was not conducive enough for you. Now, there are some things we need to put in place to ensure that our environment is conducive. For example, you have to have a good, comfortable bed. Then you also have to make sure the environment is calm, it's quiet, and it's dark. When there's a lot of light, it hinders the time at which you fall asleep. But when places are dark, you realize that you fall asleep faster. And then, not forgetting that the temperature of the room has to be very conducive. Not so hot, not so cold. And my special advice to women is that when you want to sleep, there's no need for tight clothing. You're trying to get a good night's sleep here. So you should wear free clothes and you should keep away the bra. Take it away so that you can sleep and have a good night rest. Some people realize that when they get into bed, they spend more than 20 minutes, they are still awake, they haven't fallen asleep. Yes, it happens. But when it does happen to you, all you need to do is wake up from bed, go get yourself distracted. You can read a magazine, you can read an article, you can even read a newspaper or a book, whatever it is that you want to read. You can distract yourself for a few minutes. And after that, you go back to bed and you realize that you get a better sleep pattern. And then lastly, but not the least, we should avoid taking sleep pills. Avoid taking sleeping pills. It doesn't matter, you know, some people, maybe they're on prescribed sleeping medications. I don't know what the health condition may be, but you may want to talk to your doctors to see the shortest possible time for which you can take the medication so that you can return to your natural sleep pattern. I hope you learned something today, and I know that in our subsequent videos, we are going to be learning more and more about ourselves. Thank you very much for staying tuned, and see you on our subsequent videos. Bye-bye.